Good morning from Hurricane Creek Farms. See, we got the feed bin hooked back up, got it filled up yesterday. Yeah, the truck driver, he did have a little mishap. This bin overfilled, spilled a little bit. He called to apologize to him. It's all good. In the grand scheme of things, we spilled, although I actually shoveled some of it up, maybe 100 pounds out of a 6-ton batch of feed. So not a big deal, but filled both bins up. So that means we are headed up the road, get this thing back to those yearling heifers, start doing some herd checks. All right, so got the feed bin backed up here, unhooked. The calves aren't on this end of the farm right now. We're on the north end. They're just, you know, a ridge or two over in what we call the middle pasture. I don't know, at first I wasn't even planning on moving them today. Just like, well, we'll go ahead and bring this bin down here. We'll take feed to them in that pasture. I'm tempted right now to just drive on down to the gate. If I can call them, just go ahead and move them today. Like I said in the last video, we're about to go out of town. So I want to be able to put them in this pasture and then be able to stay the entire time until we get back. So PJ doesn't have to worry about rotating pastures. See, the grass is really good in here. Bermuda is really nice right through here. Bunch of Dallas grass. Even got some clover still hanging in there. Still trying to do its thing, even though we're nearing the end of July. But yeah, the grass is really good in here. I think I can sit here and talk about it and whatever, but I think I'm gonna drive on down there and see if I can get them to, see if I can get their attention to come to the gate. If so, we'll go ahead and have them rotated, have that done off the to-do list. Check this mineral feeder while we're down here. I don't ride back here very often, so yeah, we could use a bag of mineral. Of course, that block still in there. There's still a little bit of loose mineral down there in the bottom, but yeah, I should have thrown a bag on the back of the truck, but I really didn't. As I left the house, I wasn't completely planning on driving back here. I was going to drop that bin off and then drive around the other way. Oh, this is going to be perfect. They were already back here in this bottom. Okay, sometimes the plan just works out. But yeah, you can see, forage nerd for a second, red clover hanging in there, doing pretty good, which it tends to be a little more heat tolerant than the white clover. All right, we're gonna see if we can get a head count on these. Yeah, the weather update. We did get just under a ½ inch of rain. Someplace got a little over a ½ inch yesterday, but just under a ½ inch there at home. So we definitely made the right decision a few days ago in the last video to not cut any hay, because anything we would have cut at that last video would have been to bale today. And with that ½ inch of rain, it's very overcast today. I think we got about a 40% chance of rain today. It would not have bailed, and then we'd have been in trouble because there's some more rain in the forecast. All right, we'll try to get a head count on them all as they come through. Hello, ladies. 2, 4. All right, y'all are wadded up. I don't like that. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, this is frustrating because even once those two come on through, assuming they do, we're still too short. Oh, I see one. And when I'm off by just one, I'm always like, did I miscount? Did one slip past me that I didn't see? Oh, there's definitely one over there. I'd love to see two. Tell you what, while I'm waiting on that one, I'm gonna try to get another count on these and just see if we possibly missed one. Well, now I'm actually coming up too short every time I count, so I don't know. I think what I'm gonna do is, now that they're in here, I'm gonna drive on back up to the feed bunks, call them over there, try to count them as they come up that way. If we're still short, we'll just leave the gate open for today, and if we got them all here tomorrow, then we'll shut it, because they're very easy. There may be a straggler or two that just wasn't with the rest of the herd, but we'll see if we can figure it out. Number 19 right here is showing us why you don't ever really see Johnson grass in pastures. A little bit right there, and she was right on it. but got a few more stragglers coming up. We'll see if we can get to our, well, I think I see a problem here. What have we got going on the side of number 10 there? You'll notice in this flank, hopefully you can notice, that has to be an abscess, one would assume. Like I wouldn't call it quite a basketball size, not a full size basketball, but, and naturally, we are now as far away as possible from our catch pen as we can be on this property. That puts us at 55. That'll put us at 61. So we're still 6 heifers short. So that means we're probably just gonna leave that gate open. We had everybody accounted for yesterday. Well, there comes another little Hereford around the corner. So we just got some stragglers. We're not gonna spend all morning worrying about it. We'll, if we can get a head count on everybody tomorrow, we'll shut that gate then. They're gonna wanna be in this pasture because it hasn't been grazed in probably 3 weeks. It's got the best grass of anywhere. So anyway, we're moving on. Yeah, there's another black one with her now too. So they'll slowly all make their way in here if they haven't already. You two weren't much help counting heifers. You know it? You know, just being lazy. All right, back home, we believe we're gonna get on the tractor, clip what practically speaking should be the last pasture. We should have to clip this summer. We're gonna drive around same property we're clipping on the weekend, but over on the other side of the creek. So we got to make the few mile drive around to get into the other side. Clipper's still hooked up. We didn't run very long the other day, so we shouldn't have to service it. Oh, for the first time in a long time, we get down here in the mornings and the side by side has all 4 tires aired up. So of course we'd had those issues with this thing. I finally just pulled both front wheels off, took them to my buddy Johnny up at Pop's Full Service here in town. They fixed them both. I think this right tire that had been just leaking, they found another spot to plug to match the other 10 plugs that are in that tire already. And then the one that came off the rim, they got it off there, cleaned that rim out real good, put some bead seal on it, and looks like that problem's solved as well. So love supporting our locally owned small businesses. Maybe one of the, lots of benefits to living in a small town. You know, we don't deal with a lot of traffic. We don't deal with an inordinate amount of crime. But you go in a business like that and shake hands with the owner, you know right where your money's going. And that's just one example that we have here in town. But anyway, yeah, support your locally owned small businesses, especially if you're fortunate enough to live in an area where you have plenty of those to choose from. All right, I need to get my 2 little riding buddies in the house because they're not gonna ride on the tractor with me. And I guess we'll see if we can get all this clipped. About a 40% chance of rain today. You know, I wouldn't cry necessarily if we got rained out. We could finish clipping this weekend before we go out of town. But I would like to go ahead and get this done, get it checked off the list. getting started here. Got this little bitty part of this bottom before we get the bigger part of the pasture. Of course, across the creek over there, you can tell that's where we clipped last weekend. Looks like the cows are all laid up in the shade over there. It's pretty overcast, not a lot of sunshine right now anyway. Yeah, I'd like for the rain to hold off. Give me, I don't know, I'm gonna say about 3 hours to get this all cut. We'll see. It's 10:15 right now. We just got started. We'll yeah, see exactly how long it takes us. Might not take us 3 hours. I don't know. It's about, I don't know, I'd say 15, maybe 20 acres on this other creek. Probably closer to 15. We got a 15-foot mower. So yeah, I don't know. Running about 4 miles an hour right here. We'll run a little faster than that once we get out in the wide opens. Right along this creek, there's spots like that if I am going to drop a wheel off in there, I'd rather do it at a low rate of speed rather than a high one. Yeah, some of these weeds are probably 12 foot tall or more. They'll look a lot nicer once we get them down. Two I've noticed just since we turned the cows in here, even though there's more area on this side of the creek to graze, they have wanted to stay over there where we have already mowed. They've been over there pretty much every time we checked them, so hopefully this will also really encourage them to spread on out and graze this whole pasture. Got done. Took just a little over 2 hours, and yeah, right on time. As you can see, the rain starting to come down there, which, hey, good timing. I would like to get this mower back home and get it blown off, so before all that grass and debris and whatnot that naturally accumulates on it gets too wet and plastered to it. But if we get that done, and it'll be a pretty good day, even if we don't accomplish anything else. It definitely rained pretty good on us on the way home, and then now it's barely raining at all because it's one of those typical summertime sales. So I don't know how well this stuff is going to blow off here, but we're going to try and see what we can, how much of it we can get cleaned up. Well, battery's dying on the blower anyway, but that was probably about as good as I could have hoped for. Yeah, she's all but dead. Go charge that. But I think since it's not raining, we will go ahead and unhook the mower. Kind of want to make sure as I do, I'm going to think of somewhere else I wanted to go ahead and clip, but I don't know anywhere off the top of my head. Speaking of my head, remind y'all about Ag Gear. Go to aggearstore.com, 15% off using discount code Hurricane. I guess the hat is the only of their gear that I'm wearing today. mainly because I need to do laundry. But hey, you can go to hurricanecreek.farm, get you a shirt like this. But yeah, aggearstore.com. These hot summer days, which is really nice today with the overcast skies. The hay baler, the stockyard shirts, probably my favorite shirts they have. They also have all the Farm Pro kind of performance t-shirts. And also the pants. I love the pants. I don't wear them on the farm, admittedly, as much as I do around the vet office. I believe it's the cultivator pant. They're you know, come in, you know, the kind of the typical, the brown, the light khaki, and I think there's 3 colors. But they're perfect. I wear them around the vet office, and they're kind of a performance material. They're stretchy. They're definitely a business casual kind of look, but stain and water resistant, kind of perfect for that work environment. But anyway, check them out. Discount code Hurricane. All right, let's get this thing unhooked. Well, I think our next little order of business is need to get the horse trailer back under the barn. Which way? It's hard to point. Right over there. Need to get it turned around and backed under there. We'll see if we can get that done. Yeah, I was hoping to do like maybe a little run this afternoon, but after that rain, you can just feel the humidity and the steam. So we may power through that here in a while. But let's get this thing back under the barn. See how much it rained. I'm gonna go ahead and say not much, sure less than a tenth. Might have rained a little more just up the road. So it was raining pretty good there for a second. Yeah, we're at about 5/100ths. So yeah, just enough to make it a little steamy. Say I may go for an afternoon run here in just a bit. Typically when I do that, I go into town, take advantage of our relatively quiet roads, but nice to have those sidewalks there in town. But yeah, may just about wrap it up for this one. We actually, I think it's gonna be 2 videos in a row where I'm gonna tell you we're not eating beef. We're gonna eat some pork chops tonight. Buddy of mine, I'm speaking of supporting local businesses and whatnot, we buy a hog from every year around Christmas. Still got some pork chops left, got some thawing out. We did have tacos last night. Yesterday was Taco Tuesday. So we like, I tell you, my secret taco recipe: 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 1/2 pound of pork chorizo. You don't need any other seasoning. That chorizo is so rich and I guess just heavy on seasoning. That 3-to-1 ground beef to pork chorizo, in my opinion, the perfect taco meat. But anyway, that's me rambling about recipes at the end of a video. Yeah, we appreciate y'all watching. Keep checking back this weekend. I'm going to tell you we won't be cutting hay because we're leaving to go out of town. But that's not till Sunday, so we'll be scrambling, getting some things done on Saturday. I don't even know what it'll be, but tying up loose ends, a lot of that. We appreciate y'all watching. Y'all eat beef and God bless. See you next time.